Welcome, everyone, to the Monke Funk podcast. We're going to try again this time. My name is Austin, aka Fancy Brain. Who is next? The dude on
Uh,
the lower right.
yes, I am Joey, or the Rad Cow Disease. Uh, yeah, I don't really got much more than that.
Good start, bud. Good start,
Yeah,
bud.
Yeah, it's
excellent
Who's
good.
start.
It's great. I'm Chance. I'm the not so dark magician.
And I am Devin. I am Draven Slade.
all right? Good, strong intros, y'all.
Yep, I felt like we were doing icebreakers, and I was in third grade again. That was awful.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
you can tell
Yeah.
we're professionals at this.
Oh yeah,
It'll
We've been
get
doing
better
this a long
over
time.
time, dog. It's all good.
we
You also
we
just
do
got
this
off work.
every week.
Yeah, starting now.
For sure.
So yeah, we are the Monkey Funk podcast. I guess we'll just start off with a little bit of small talk. How you guys doing?
I'm doing all
Good.
right.
Yeah,
I'm feeling pretty good. How about you guys? What's up?
I had like the cold or flu over the weekend, but
Ugh.
Oof,
That
sucks, dog.
I woke up this morning was not feeling well.
yeah,
Um,
there.
so I get up to go to the bathroom and I find myself I slip on something cold and wet. I'm like, oh dear God, I think I know what that is.
Oh
And
no.
I finished my business and I go back and I'm trying to avoid the area and I slip again and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. And I turn the light on and I look down and there's two piles of shit
You
on the
Oh.
just
floor.
you just
And
stepped in it.
I stepped in it and I'm like
Ugh.
trying to like walk
You
on my sides
slipped
of
in
my
it too, so that means it
slip.
spread.
Yep, exactly.
Oh
And
man.
to make this worse, I'd already woken up 2 times in the night to let the dog out. And then I found out later Emma let the dog out an additional 2 fucking times. So I'm scrambling to get it cleaned up, and I'm already like, I'm calling into work. Fuck this. Like, I don't feel well, and I had to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning and flipping shit. Uh,
You feeding your dog fiber gummies? What
dude,
the
I don't.
hell?
He's a collie, and I guess they just have sensitive stomachs or something. I don't fucking know. This happens every
Damn.
few months. But then I wake up after like sleep. That's him now. Protesting that I'm telling the story. And so I wake up later after I go back to sleep, and I find not one, not two, not three, but four fucking more piles of shit and throw up. So I spent my whole day just like
Oh.
cleaning up shit after the dog. But he seems fine now. Like he looked a little withered earlier, but he's doing
Yeah, I
okay.
would be too if I'm like dumping 5 piles of shit and throw up all throughout the night. Like,
That would
oof.
have. I'd feel invigorated
Oh,
after that.
and to make things worse, my little Weeble Wobble cat, the little one who can't walk right,
Right.
she got on the bed and her tail slapped my arm. And it was cold and wet, and I sniffed it, and it smelled. I was like, fuck. So
Oh,
I'm like trying to clean her up too, while also cleaning the dog shit up, which was awful because she did not want to be cleaned. She was
So,
very against that, had her claws out. And I was like, God damn it, you're gonna give
so
me sepsis or something.
this all started with you going to the bathroom. Is the bathroom situation okay in your household? Is
Not today.
everyone all right?
Not today. Today was a bad
Oh
bathroom day.
man.
uh, well, in more positive news, I graduated master's school.
Hell yeah.
let's
Hey.
go.
Well
Hence
done.
why I have my profile picture as Master Mold, because I am now Master
Master.
Mold.
Hey,
Nice.
I didn't catch that. It's good. I
Are
like
you having
that.
like a party?
Yeah, maybe soon. We'll see. But
I feel like people don't do parties for like masters like they do bachelors.
they don't do like graduation parties. Like it's not as big of a deal. Like after high school, graduation becomes less and less of a like accomplished thing, even though it is
Yeah.
more accomplished if we're
The-
Yeah,
being
that's what I'm saying.
real.
Like you're getting like you have a whole ass master's degree now.
Yeah, like
Like you're not
high
high
school
school.
graduation, you're inviting like all the cousins, all the aunts and uncles, like everybody's coming out, and then like college graduation, it's like, okay, we got like a good chunk of those same people. Maybe not as many, but like it's still pretty well accomplished. Masters, nothing. Like,
I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. All I got for my high school graduation was Dark Souls 1.
Dude,
dang.
wait,
I
that's
mean,
badass.
that's pretty cool.
I wish that's what I got.
And the
I'll be
game the
honest.
game was years old at this point. This was 2016.
Yeah, that's
Well,
badass.
true. Yeah. I agree. It seems like after high school, the graduation parties seem to just diminish. They get lesser and lesser, right? You graduate high school, and you know what's possibly one of the least impressive things is the most celebrated, right? And then, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a big deal to graduate from high school, right? But then you
A
graduate
milestone.
from college with a bachelor's degree, right? And then it's like, I mean, it's still celebrated, but like, I don't know. It's like I had a whole bunch of stuff go on for my high school graduation, and then, I mean, I guess I was pretty decently celebrated with my bachelor's degree when I graduated too. But I don't know.
Yeah, we had a decent
Hmm.
little party, but it wasn't like anything big. And like I was kind of talking to my dad, and he was telling me they didn't do anything for his like masters. Um,
Hmm.
he graduated med school. There's like a picture of my grandpa and him holding me, and I think that's like they just had a little get together and went out to dinner. Like that's
Yeah.
really it. It's like the man's a whole ass doctor, and you just go out to dinner. Like,
There's probably a
Right?
level of
Right.
maturity with it, honestly. That's
Hmm.
probably what it is. If I had to be guessing here, you know.
yeah, I guess it's just like the life, like I guess that high school to college, like you are going from child to adult.
Yeah,
So from
that's a
then
good
on,
point.
you are an adult. That's like your last big thing you do as a child is get through high
Graduate high
school.
school.
Graduate, yeah. Well,
It's
I didn't even walk for my bachelor's degree. I walked in high school, right? Walked the stage, but I didn't even do that for my bachelor's degree just because I
oh
was like, I don't really know anybody. I really don't feel like, going and paying for robes and all that stuff. I kind of just want to just
Right.
celebrate with my friends and family, and that be that.
Dude, I had the like sweet spot of bachelor's graduation because it was like not COVID, it was 2021. So like it was still not lockdown, but still COVID, you know?
Hmm.
And I remember we went to like it wasn't our stadium, it was like I think a different kind of stadium. I don't know how to describe it. Um, but it was just, kind of like a convention center for the university. And like they told us, you're going to go up, you're going to walk across the stage, you're going to shake the dean's hand, and then you're going to walk off the stage and walk right out the door. We did not have to wait for everybody to go through. Like, you literally just walked right out to your car because they didn't want that many people still all in one place, weirdly, for some reason. I don't know. But it was awesome because I was just like, yep, I'm in, I'm out, I'm done. And then I went right to my graduation brunch with my family. It was great.
Yeah, that's super nice, man.
Nice.
You just shake the hands and then just get out.
Yeah,
Like,
because they did the tassel thing at the beginning. They were like, okay,
ah,
we're gonna fast track this and just do the tassels now. And
mm.
yeah, it was great. What about you, Jobert? Anything special going on?
There's
No,
black mold in my house.
is it a good bathroom day for you?
Oh, I don't want to talk about the shit I had in my work bathroom. That was
Ouch.
hell yeah!
let's just say I had an extra 15-minute break today.
Doesn't it
Oh
feel
man.
so good when it's done though?
No,
Dude,
Oh,
10
it
of
was
that
one of
15 minutes.
those.
10 of that 15 minutes was recovery.
Oh
dude,
man.
I
Well,
Emotional or physical?
at
I
least it was on the company's dime, right?
Hey, boss makes a dollar, I make a dime.
That's right.
I always hate those shits that you struggle through, and
The
it's
ones
just like the worst ones. And then you go down to wipe, and it's just nothing there, and you're just like, did I even go through this whole process?
Hmm.
In the
Yeah.
words of
Like,
Deadpool, gotta love the ones that make you sweat.
dude, I'm not gonna lie, I've had some like shits, like, especially when I was a kid. Like, I remember one particularly bad. I was 14. I was like stripped down naked in my bathroom, just pushing. Like I feel like I was giving fucking birth. Oh my god.
Sounds
Yeah.
like you need more fiber in your diet.
Maybe.
Let's just put it. I had a friend who put it really well. He said, "You know, it's not real unless you have to take your shirt off in the bathroom."
Do Do you ever have
Yeah.
the ones where you don't even like wipe after, you just immediately get in the shower?
Why would you do that to your shower?
You've clearly never experienced it.
You're right, I haven't.
Oh,
I've had a shit. This is when I was in Stillwater, and I woke up in the night and I had to go, and I'm like penguin waddling down the hallway, and I'm leaning down like I'm bending down to shit, and it just projectiles all over the fucking back wall and onto the toilet,
Oh
and it hit like the
no!
bottom of my
Oh
shirt.
man. See, that's
And, like,
worse because then there's cleanup afterward.
Yeah, and this is like
Yeah.
4 in the fucking morning. Nobody's
Yeah.
awake. I'm
You're already
cleaning it up.
tired. You're already like physically drained at that point, and you've got to clean that up. You're not just gonna leave that.
Yeah, and I'm cleaning it up, and I realize like my shirt's disgusting. Like the back of like my pants are just full of shit. So I like put them in a bag, go back to my room, bag my clothes, put on new clothes, and like just wrap a towel. Like I put on a shirt, wrap a towel around my like waist, and I just go to the bathroom and I just sit for like 2 hours. I just did not feel clean. It was
Oh, man.
awful.
Oh man! So what did you do with the bag of
Oh, I just went to the
tarnished
laundry
clothes?
room. I just went to the laundry room, and that was that.
Oh man, you didn't burn it. You were like,
No.
I'll salvage these. I'm a poor
No.
college student. I need these for next week.
Nah, you just get a whole gallon of bleach and you just dump that shit into the bag and let it sit for like a month. Nah, a month too long, actually. 24 hours, then dump it. Because then the shit's still in there.
So bad. It
Ugh.
was so bad.
Well,
Ugh.
I've just never had like I've had projectile vomit before, never projectile shit.
Yeah, it's
mm,
it's tough business. It's tough business. That's for sure.
it's
Well,
tough mudding.
Uh,
after that tasteful start, do you want to get into the topic of
Hey.
today's episode?
So
yeah,
we talked
let's,
about shit. Let's talk about what we like now.
Yeah,
yeah. Now that we've
let's
gotten
talk
that out
about
of the way.
what makes games not shit. Ugh.
Instead of
So-
shit, what hit?
I have more poop stories too. Next time.
How do you have more?
Dude, life's
So-
full of shit.
This
You know who's, you know, Chance. That's how he is more.
I can derail this so bad with a story,
Ooh.
but I'm not going to. Topic of the day is what makes games fun. This was suggested by you, Chancellor, aka Not So Dark Magician. I really liked this because it can go in a lot of different directions. Do you guys have any ideas you want to start with? I've got like 2, but I won't steamroll this here.
I have 2.
Well, it's your topic. Why don't you start?
Fuck. Yeah, okay. I was just really thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I think movement. Like, if movement feels good in a game, the game will be fun.
Okay.
Like Mario 64. That
Yeah.
game, to this day, still just feels good to move around in and play. Like, that's why they've remastered it, they've ported it, everybody still looks back on it fondly. And I mean, you've got the music and the atmosphere and just the general Mario vibe, but if you were just Mario in like a room just jumping off of like blocks and stuff, you'd probably still just have a good time.
Yeah,
I can,
yeah.
I can be agreeable to that.
Yeah, and so here's a question for you, Chance. Just because I think I have a general grasp at what you're getting at, but what about the movement do you think makes it more enjoyable? Is it the fact that it's fast movement? Is it the fact that it's more vertical movement? Is it because it's just simply not clunky? Because I know we all kind of hate whenever we play a video game and whoever we're playing is just the movement is just clunky as all get out, right? Unless it's like a more retro game, then it's tolerable, right?
I
Don't
will
talk
say-
about Reinhardt that
There's-
way.
There's some jank that's always good
yeah,
for movement. I think Mario's movement, it's just really controlled. Like you are in control of his movement,
Mhm.
and it does feel good. But there's always that little bit of like
There's a little slip to him in
a
Mario
little inertia,
64.
like there's a little bit of like that inertia to it.
Yeah,
Like even
which
in the base Super Mario World, whenever you jump and land, you slide just a little. You
that's the
know,
thing. That goes
and
back
it's
to Mario's roots, all the way
yeah,
back on the NES. I'm pretty sure in the arcade cabinets before even
yeah.
that,
There's
he
just that
he
little.
slips a little bit, and
There's
it's like
that
you
little
said, that inertia.
like whenever you move in real life, you don't just stop. Like you come to a stop, and like there's always a little bit of movement, and it's like he just keeps that. And I think that's one of my two things that's fun. It's just good movement, like really just solid controlled movement, but you're not 100% in control. Maybe like 99, 98%.
So springboarding off of your, I guess, point there, Chance. Is there movement in a rhythm game or a puzzle game?
I'd say yeah, like Tetris has a good movement to it.
Okay,
Tetris is snappy. I like playing Tetris. I think it's fun. It's super snappy and it speeds up, but like at the beginning especially, you can go as fast as you want. And then
that's
eventually you're just trying to beat the game speed.
that's
Uh
true.
but that snappy quick, like boom boom, and it just like it feels good. You kind of get into like that flow state with it whenever you get to like higher levels. It's that shit's good. I just really like excuse me, movement.
So the point I was getting at is, I think for a game to be fun, it has to be at least somewhat decently well made. The example I'm pulling here is a rhythm game because I hate myself. It's Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Again, because I hate myself, I'm trying to complete all of the Kingdom Hearts games because that's my favorite series of all time. And it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but there are times that it's frustrating because the controls, they're not awful, but like every now and then it just gets under your skin because you're like, I know I hit that rhythm. The game is just deciding to go with a different rhythm on the music, if that makes sense. Like it's so hard to explain unless you like see me playing it, but to me, what makes a game fun is if it is well made. And to your point, with Mario 64, the movement feels good because it was well made. There are definitely games out there that's like infuriating because the movement itself was not well made. So I like your point and kind of how it ties in to what I was getting at.
Mhm, mhm. So,
Oh,
to your just a really quick question for you, Austin. So, can you give me an example? I know you kind of gave me an example of a game that's well made. We mentioned Mario a little bit, but like, what do you like in a game that's well made versus a game that's not well made? And are you able to provide like examples of two games like side by side?
Well, I mean,
And I know
it's
I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but
yeah,
like, I just want to see if you can elaborate on that more because I get what you're saying.
yeah.
I just
Well, I mean, like Chance said, with Mario 64, you feel like you are in control. Like you make the action on your controller and the character just does it. There's no delay there. So I think that is definitely a component of it. Let me think. Lately I've been playing Overwatch, and that is a game where you make a movement and shit happens on the screen. So I think that would be a pretty good example of at least that human computer interaction there, if you will.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Um, Gosh, what else
also
have I been playing? Oh, I guess another example of another great game series that has been with my heart for a long time, Sly Cooper. That is a series that
Mm,
just you commit
yeah.
to your actions and the characters just do it. Again, the controls are snappy. The environment is also well made, I would say. There's good atmosphere, which is probably another good point to games. Um, yeah, I mean, it's hard to really quantify what makes it well made because there's so many aspects that go into it. And so I think that's probably where you would maybe want to go into.
You mentioned atmosphere, and I'm gonna add a third thing. I have three things.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say my second one. I like just like a deep combat system. Like I want to like Devil May Cry, one of my favorite games. Like 3 and 4, I go back and play those all the time. And 5, I've obviously gone back and played too. and it's just like movement in that. It's really good too. It's got a good movement system, but just like the different combos, unlocking different things, getting just physically better at playing the game. Like Dark Souls, that's another one you can just kind of get better at playing. And that one, like Dark Souls 1, like it doesn't have like the best movement. Like it's a little clunky. Joey can attest to that.
What do you mean? It's fantastic. I love just sliding on a slight angle and falling off
Yeah,
the level to die.
but like really, like they really, I haven't played Dark Souls 2 yet, but like really, like Bloodborne was my first like game like that, and the movement was so much better in that. It just felt good to move around in, uh, than Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. But yeah, I think just like a deep combat system, like a lot of mechanics that go on, like different things. And I don't always want it to be in my control. Sometimes I want things to be kind of out of my control. Like
Sometimes you want to get dunked on, don't you?
yeah, or like Dragon's Dogma 1 and 2. Fucking love those games. And part of it's like the pawns. You have to rely a little bit on your pawns to do certain things at different times. It's like you're not always you don't control what they do. You can just kind of suggest what they do. But like you yourself as a player, like you have a lot of options on like how you can attack a monster and approach like different fights and things, and they really expand on that in Dragon's Dogma 2. I know I'm kind of being brief, but yeah, that's a big one.
What
And
about
then
you,
like
Joey? Do you have anything?
I am an absolute slut for open world survival crafting games.
Okay.
Yeah.
You put open world survival crafting in a game, and I will enjoy it, no matter how bad and jank the game is.
So probably best example would be Minecraft. Am I correct? Am I
Minecraft, yeah, Minecraft, Valheim. That's even why I like Fallout 4 so much. Is the survival crafting aspect. The story's kind of bad.
So, what about those games in specific do you like? I
I
like, like, what is it about? Like, because for me, right, personally, because I enjoy those types of games too, especially Valheim, right?
uh,
But I like the fact that, and I'll kind of touch on this a little bit later with my topics, but I like the fact in like Valheim, for example, that the capability of what you're able to build scales as you go farther into the game,
yeah,
right? So the farther you make it in the game, the you know the more things you're able to build, the more efficient you're able to make your resources and your items and your armor, for example, right?
yeah.
So I like that element personally, but that's just me. Is there anything that you like that's kind of more specific about those games?
To me, for some reason in those games, because like with story-based games, the story's gonna happen to you at a certain point, no matter what. But with the survival crafting games, there's like a tangible your touch on the world that the developer could never put in. That you introduce yourself. Every survival crafting game can be personalized to a T in that way, and I really like that.
No, that makes
Just
sense.
how personal the experience can get.
Yeah, it's like you have a hand in almost making the game in a way, or at least
Yeah,
creating the landscape in a way that you can kind of custom tailor it to what you want to see within the game. You can make that creative idea into a reality
yeah.
in a sense, and you can see it in a tangible way in the game. I totally get that. I think that does make those types of games a lot of fun.
It's
Not
like
to
the
mention,
ult. Sorry, Joey. I don't mean to
no,
cut you off.
no. Go ahead.
It's like the ultimate RPG. You know, it's
Yeah,
an RPG without even the like most bare bones story. You know, you are making your own story at that point. There's like nothing else going on.
yeah.
So it's like an escape, really, which is what probably the biggest core to games are. So I'll let you
Yeah.
continue with your thought.
I don't remember what I was going to say now. Give me a second.
Ah, damn it! I'm so sorry.
No, you're perfectly fine. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, my ADHD ass also needs to see results now. So putting the building down, you gotta put the building down. You know,
So you want tangible results.
yeah, tangible, quick results that I can personalize. That's what I like about those games.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean,
That
they are
makes sense.
games in a sense, so you have to have like a sense of, completion,
Interactability.
progression, interaction, exactly.
Hmm.
My second point that I had here, and I actually just got another third one, but I'll again keep on my list, is competitiveness. There are multiplayer
Mm.
games out now. I already referenced one, Overwatch, just got back into it because I have free time now. No more master school.
No masters.
No more school.
Yeah.
But Overwatch, I've been getting back into with Devin, and it's so much fun. Even though I am eating shit against some of these players now, it's just, I don't know. It's just that level of, it's a high intensity game, it's fast paced, it's simple enough, but like again, the game just still feels good, with all the different characters that you can play as. And again, there's still that level of competitiveness to a point where we now have colleges and professional teams playing for money on these games. Like it's cool.
No, that makes complete sense. And I mean, I obviously with what I do for the audience who doesn't know what I do, I actually have coached Overwatch competitively as an esport for about 3 years now. I'm going into my fourth year. And so naturally, I enjoy the competitiveness of esports titles and just video games in general, right? I like the competitive nature. I've always enjoyed sports in general, right? I think
Right.
there's a certain energy that lies within sports and esports that is just it's so infectious. It's so contagious. You can't help but get inspired or motivated by seeing a really close game of football or basketball, but also it's the same energy lies within competitive gaming, right? I can't tell you how many times I have just really enjoyed, even in just the collegiate space of esports, watching a really close match between two universities in a given game of Overwatch or Valorant, right? And these are often players that wouldn't have interacted otherwise, unless they were brought together by that game and that medium. So I think watching competitive things happen within a game is really like you said, Austin. It's really infectious. There's an energy behind it, and I really enjoy that.
And I like that word you used, energy. There's an
Mhm.
energy to it. I think that, I mean, different games have different, like you said, energies. As Joy was saying, a Minecraft or a Valheim, that's probably going to be a little lower energy in some areas. I mean, obviously, if you find Enderman or you're in combat, like it gets a little more stressful, but like whereas Overwatch is a little more fast paced. So, like, yeah, I mean, games to me, I feel like just have different levels of energy to them that can draw in different people, whether it's low or high energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's cool because there are a vast amount of different games that have varying levels of what we've kind of identified as energy, right? Sometimes you're in the mood to have a very competitive, intense match, right? And you're wanting to kind of really sweat. If we're talking about gamer terms here, we're gonna sometimes you just feel like getting sweaty and really duking it out, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
then
the
other
best of
times
Overwatch, man.
yeah, right. I mean, whatever it is, whether it's Overwatch, Valorant, League of Legends, anything like that. But sometimes you don't want to do that, and you want to kind of do something on the other end of the spectrum, and you want to be kind of doing something a little bit lower energy. You kind of want to just chill. You want to relax, and that's where I can see games like Minecraft and Valheim being a little bit more appealing. Is because I'm not gonna lie, especially being in the profession in the field that I'm in, sometimes I just want to chill out and turn my brain off and just play a video game.
Yeah.
I want to just enjoy myself. I don't want to have to constantly 24/7, have to just, expend all my energy trying to, you know, you know,
That sounds like
absolutely.
anxiety.
Well, it is because it is anxiety. I'll tell you that. But there's only so much time. There's only so much you can sit around and spank 13-year-olds in Fall Guys. You know what I
Let's
mean?
not ever say.
Yeah, I don't want to spank 13-year-olds
Yeah, yeah. Maybe
personally.
maybe we
Uh,
should rephrase that one.
Redacted.
bully 13-year-olds. That's what we're
Hey,
looking
listen.
for.
All I'm gonna say is I didn't have that connotation whenever I said that. That was something that was brought into
Yeah,
the
I know.
picture. So
Yeah, Devin and I
all
jumped on
good.
Fall Guys one night after doing Overwatch, and like it was like easy mode, dog. Devin had like
Oof.
two winter chicken dinners or whatever they do now. I don't know. He got the crown, and it was just like, dog, how are you doing this?
I
Dude,
And he's
Fall,
like,
mean,
I don't know.
Fall Guys is so fun though.
it is fun.
It
It is
used to be
fun.
fun, not
So
so much
easy to
anymore
lock
because
in.
there's not as much player base anymore.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
player base has kind of died down. That's
Yeah.
honestly why I'll be modest here. That's probably why I won both of those matches.
Yeah,
Because literally, there's just not a lot of competition there. So
that was one of those like game of the month streamer games, and then it just kind of died after that. Not
Yeah.
for
died, it
sure.
fell
I would say it was good for
in
about
popularity.
like 2 years or so, maybe three. I really need to check on like when it was released, and I honestly think it was 2020, so 3 years feels about right.
Yeah, it just
Well,
feels like that's like one of those like big streamer plays it, it peaks in popularity, and it'll keep a player base after that, but it's definitely not what it used to be.
Well, if it was released during 2020, that would have been lockdown, right? So a
man.
lot of people were still indoors and they're trying to connect, and when you have something that's a massive multiplayer game, that's easy to pick up,
Yeah, it's 2020.
you're going to get a lot of people on board all
Yeah,
playing it at once, and if you make it fun, as we are discussing, it's going to pick up traction. So,
yeah. I was just
Yeah, for
referring like
certain.
there's always that streamer flavor of the month game, like,
yeah.
and though most of the time they're a fun game, but then they just like when was the last time we all played Lethal Company? You know,
That's
That's
true.
fair.
That's
That's
like
true.
true.
I love that game. I just haven't touched it since like December, and I don't even
Uh,
like
Yeah.
watch streamers. I just everybody was playing it, and I was like, it looks fun.
it's a good game.
It's a great
So
game, and it's a unique game. I think
Mhm.
that's what makes it fun.
So
Like
I'll
Yeah.
really
I'll bring
fun.
it back to its core here. What makes that game fun?
Shit. Okay, I've got 4 points now. I'm gonna bring up one of those now.
Go
Um,
ahead. You haven't talked in a little bit.
I think, and this goes for like this honestly goes for like movies, TV, something that just brings something new to the table. Like, like you will have like a 7 out of 10 game, and it just does something that no other game does, and it'll be like the best fucking time of your life. You'll be like, holy shit, I can't get this experience anywhere else. I'm having a fucking blast. And then, it's not as polished or as well made as like the you know, Sony really makes those polished, well made first party games, AAA titles.
So
Um
so would you
and those
call
are
it?
fun games. Those are great games. They're fun, but they're not like pushing the boundary. They're not doing something so new, so unique, so purposeful that it's like you cannot find that in any other game. And
Would you
Fall
call it?
Guys, what? Or
Would
not
you
Fall
call
Guys,
it
what?
innovation?
Yeah, no, I would. I mean, there's something innovative to it. Um, and it's just taking the medium and stretching it further and seeing what else it can do. Not trying to fall into a specific route or anything, because like you can follow directions and like you could probably go on Reddit and be like, how do I make the best game? And then, you would end up with the formulaic kind of first party blockbuster. And those are fine. I'm so happy we have those. I really am. Like God of War, love those games. Those have been phenomenal. Ghost of Tsushima. But I also like I was telling Devin about this earlier. It's called this game Pseudo Regalia. And it doesn't do anything super new, but it does it well. Uh you just it's kinda just a short little game. Not a ton of combat, just a lot of platforming, but it's like good 3D platforming. Or Dragon's Dogma 1, whenever that was out, that was like my favorite game for years. Not to bring it up again, but I just, it's recently their new release. Like, there's just not another game like it. Like, there's not another game where you are in this RPG, like medieval setting, and you're climbing on these monsters, like switching different classes and just, you know,
Yeah.
doing the things that only Dragon's Dogma brings, like just the grabbing system, like interacting with your world, pushing stuff around. Like I don't know, it's good. It feels good to play,
I like that. Yeah.
and it's not polished. Don't get me wrong, especially the first one. The second one's a little more polished. I'd still give it like it's one of those like I guess if I had to rate it, it's like an 8 out of 10, but to put a heart next to it.
Yeah,
Like
for
it's got
sure.
some problems, but like that's also part of like the DNA of the game, and that's what makes it the game.
Mhm.
Like you don't well, we were talking earlier about Mario, like whenever Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D came out, Nintendo left the glitches in that was in 64 because those glitches are so baked into the identity and the DNA of the game that taking those out would just like it's it's not a remake. It's not the same game at that point, and they were trying to really capture the spirit of that old game, but with just more updated graphics and a new UI.
For
You're
sure.
bringing up some like majorly innovative games there, like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. Those were games that just redefined what it meant to be a
Oh,
game. Because up
yeah.
until those two happened, you would not have 3D gaming as it is now. Like it was all those 16-bit pixels, you
You
know.
know what? Do you know what's probably the most innovative game that I played like growing up?
What?
Fucking Dynasty Warriors. I played
Dynasty
Dy-
Warriors?
I played Dynasty Warriors 3 on a fucking demo disc. And it's got
Wow.
it's got the good combat, like it's got a really good action system, like heavy attack, light attack, special. Love that. Absolutely like bust a nut for heavy attack, light attack, and special attack buttons. Love it. Especially when you string it together in a combo. Fucking magnificent. It's got good movement, pretty good movement. It's not like the best movement. It's a little, especially Dicey Warriors 3, it's a little more choppy, a little more snappy, but that's fine. What I loved
Mhm.
was just that 1 versus 1,000. Like you're just on a battlefield slaughtering people left and right. Like you feel like the absolute most badass person in the history of fucking China. It is so fucking cool. And like to this day, that's just a series I follow with and keep up with. And there's plenty of other like companies that have now started doing kind of like the Muso style where it's just the 1 versus 1,000. But that was really like that was big. That was big when I was a kid. It's like you don't have that anywhere else. And to this day, like there's some, but it's mostly Koei Tecmo that does it, and I think they do some of the best jobs with it.
Mhm. I'll go ahead and just speak to what I think makes the game fun, just because I haven't really putting in my 2 cents quite yet. But
Oh shit,
I no, you're good, guys. No worries. No, it's all good. This is
Preach.
usually how I am. I
less
just
for
kind of
less,
chill until I'm like, okay, I
less
gotta
for
start
less.
talking.
Preach it,
But
man.
so I think I've got a couple of things, and then so the first thing I'll start with is for me personally, and I kind of touched on this earlier with Joey's topic about survival games and resource gathering games. I like I like it when there's progression. Okay, I like it whenever the character that you start with at the beginning of the game is nowhere near the same being as the character you finish with the game, right? You are stronger, you have better armor, you have abilities, you have things that made you essentially this powerful being that you were nowhere close to at the beginning of the game, right?
Dude, I got a
Um,
good example of that, and I do have it written down.
nice, nice. Yeah, go. Well, let's just hear it because it's probably
Okay.
going to segue into mine. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to what Chance was saying of you just feel like an absolute badass. One game I remember picking up, and I consider it to be one of like the most important games I've ever played because it just kind of redefined what a game could be to me. Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Dude, that is such a well-made game, and it wasn't until probably like the third boss that I really started to feel that progression, like you're saying, Devin. Like you just keep upgrading and upgrading and upgrading and upgrading your character, in this case, Alucard, to the point where like you are just stomping on fools at the beginning of the game, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. That feeling of just becoming better and better and better version of who you start as is so like it just scratches a part of your brain that you're just like, I gotta keep going. I gotta get more.
For sure, for sure. Well, I think we as human beings have a natural desire to progress, right? We have a natural kind of want to be become better in different aspects of life, whether that's being smarter, being stronger, being, more charismatic, whatever kind of aspects you prioritize, right? One game that I've been playing lately that I kind of just played just recently, probably like a week ago. I was feeling nostalgic, so I busted out the Wii, and I played Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess.
Hell
Ooh.
yeah.
And dude, I mean, talk about progression. I love the fact that when you begin that game, as Link, you are nothing more than just kind of a almost like a farmhand in your village, right? You're herding goats, you're helping around your village. You're just a simple, uh, you know, uh, person incumbent of this village, right? And then suddenly, right, as we know, evil comes and causes chaos and discord, and you as Link have to fight that, and not only fight that, but you have to do things that are way out of your league, your scope, right? But you become stronger as Link as you progress through this game. You go through dungeons, you go and fight different creatures that are stronger and stronger, and then you equip yourself with different items. You get better armor. Eventually, as we all know in the Legend of Zelda series, you typically will get the Master Sword, right? So by the end of the game, Link is a completely different person than he was at the very beginning of the game, and I don't know why, but I just find ultimate satisfaction in that.
Zelda is a great series
You know what was
Yes.
for that.
fucking wild in Twilight Princess? When you're doing the chores at the beginning, and you have to
Yeah,
catch the fucking goats escaping.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
whole ass
Yes.
goat running at you,
Spoilers.
and you're just like, you just like grab it by the fucking horns and manhandle it to the ground. Like Jesus Christ!
Mm.
Yeah, just
Like,
like me. Yeah.
yeah, no, Link. I was like, Link's. I remember playing that at like 12. I was like, Link's strong as shit. What the fuck?
Well,
Like, like, what the
he,
You're
fuck?
you're gonna
he
talk
is the
about
goat.
goats versus the giant boulder he lifts in
Oh,
Ocarina of
yeah,
Time?
but he does that with the gloves. He has to have the gauntlets. He has to
Okay,
have gauntlets for
True.
that. This dude's wrestling goats, and like
level
the
one.
Gorons, he just has the iron boots. That's all
Mhm.
fucking strength right there. He
That's
just
true.
needed the extra weight to be in the same class.
That's
Like,
right. That's
like,
right.
bro's fucking built different. Holy shit, he's strong as fuck.
Hey, when you
Sorry,
right,
I
you
just
right.
always impressed by
No.
Link's strength in that game. It's like no, he's just raw dog wrestling Gorons.
Wrong
He
as
just
hell.
he just needs the fucking weight to be in the same class. That's it. He just needs to be the heavyweight. That's
That's
fucking
right.
ridiculous.
You know Death Battle has found his strength feat somewhere, and it's just I know it's probably absurd with his strength and all the shit he's done.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
like
god.
For
physically,
sure. For sure.
like Duke pick up a fucking I don't know. It's a big ass fruit, like a pumpkin, and probably squeeze it and crush it. Bro's built like a chimp,
Yeah. Grab a watermelon and just decimate that shit. No
dude.
problem.
Yeah, like he wouldn't have to he wouldn't have to crush it with his thighs. He could just like do it with his hands.
It's like
Yeah.
that
Not a
wrestler you sent
problem.
me a TikTok about that was like trying to rip a quarter in half, but he could only
That
bend it.
yeah.
What was his name?
Oh fuck, I forgot.
I'm not big into wrestling, but like when you sent me that, I was like, "Damn, dude can just like roll a frying pan, no problem."
Yeah, that's pretty impressive shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mark Henry, that was his name. Yeah, no,
There you
because
nice.
he
go.
he was so strong, he would have fucking like he wouldn't do autographs. He'd have rebar bars in his fucking backpack, and somebody asked for an autograph. He'd pull out a bar of rebar and bend it, and then hand it to the kid. Like,
That's how you know you're a
Damn.
Chad.
Mm.
like
Chad energy.
he picked up a car on the stage, like by himself, like no assist. He just picked a fucking car up the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. No, that's fucking. That's what Link was doing,
Yeah.
but
For,
in a Twinkie
for real.
body.
So how
So
much
I'll go ahead
progression did Link
and
get, Devin,
right.
from that?
I mean, I don't know, man. He was able to do a lot of stuff. He was
Mhm.
able to breathe underwater. He was able to,
Same.
destroy blocks of ice with a ball and chain. It's just epic, right?
That ball and chain, like that's heavy. What the fuck?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that was solid steel.
That was like wrought iron, Like,
Yeah. I mean,
dense as
he's
shit.
strong as hell, man. Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
Dude's a strength build.
Do you ever think
Truly.
about how when he would take the iron boots off, he was just carrying them around somewhere?
In his backpack.
In his pocket.
Uh,
Yeah, he just
yeah.
had him in his pocket. No big deal.
I
Easy.
actually
Chad energy.
in the this old it was on. I know it was like actually like on syndicated television, but I watched it on Yahoo on like Yahooligans back when that was a thing, and it's just a shitty Legend of Zelda TV show. And all
What?
of his
Right.
items would just shrink down in this little pouch, and that's how he said he was holding everything.
What do you mean
Exactly.
shitty? That
It
shows
wasn't
Right.
is.
it wasn't shitty. It was actually highly enjoyable.
Well,
For years.
excuse me,
Yeah,
princess.
my brother and I would do that for like years after we watched it.
You just said that unironically.
It was
Oh,
awesome.
Oh my god.
It was,
Well, I'll go ahead and conclude my last thing that I think just so we can keep on time here. We're actually drawn to a close. We're about
hmm.
running out of time here, but I'll kind of briefly say the last thing that I think is fun about video games, and that would be immersion. Um, I
Definitely.
honestly think that a game to make for a game to be fun for me, I have to feel like I'm in the game, and I know that sounds kind of corny and kind of cliche, but I think what really sets apart a good game from a great game is how well they perform in terms of how well or how much they get the player immersed in the game, right? To kind of put a more visual experience behind this, I can actually draw on, again, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, right? Going to the area with ice and snow, right? The music, literally, the sound of the music makes you feel cold, right? I think that's a perfect example of making you feel immersed in the game. Whenever you're walking, you can hear the snow crunching under Link's feet, right? And then even in a game like, I'm a big World of Warcraft nerd, right? I've played World of Warcraft since it came out in 2004. But in World of Warcraft, this has the same kind of elements. The music makes you feel like you're in a cold region. If you're in a cold region, right, you can hear the snow crunching underneath your feet. If you zoom in close to your player's face, you can actually see their breath in the wind as you would usually when it's cold outside, right? You can see your breath. Um, those just small, tiny details really add up and accumulate and to make you feel like you're actually in the game. And that to me just is it's fun as hell. I think that's an insane quality in a game, and I think any game that's super fun will have that kind of quality.
yeah, my last thing I was gonna bring up, my fourth one was actually my third, but then I've talked about my fourth. Anyways, hangout ability, which is kind of like immersion. Just like World of Warcraft was one of those games I would just log on and hang out in. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could go talk to the NPCs, you could talk to other players, and you're right, it had like that level of detail that just didn't exist in a lot of games at the time, and that was always really cool. But yeah, I really just like games you can just hang out in and just kind of like become part of the world in a sense. I think that's like why Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver were so popular because you had your Pokemon with you, and it just kind of it added to the hangout ability of those games that other games just haven't had, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, like well built towns and different things. And like I said, World of Warcraft, that game had some cool fucking towns. Like, I don't know, I always like had like my home base at Thunderbluff because I just thought Thunderbluff was like one of the coolest cities you could have. It was like on top of a fucking plateau,
Yeah, for sure.
and it was just like, and you know, I wasn't a Tauren, but I just like to pretend like my character was kind of adopted by the Taurens, and he was trying to live their way of life. Like,
No, I
I
like
just
that.
kind of
I
like
like that.
role play in my head. I was like, you know, because Silvermoon, I like Silvermoon's okay, but it didn't have that like hangout ability like Thunderbluff did, to
Sure.
me at least. I mean, I'd have to go there for like trainers or something, but you know, now
Right.
Tauren could be paladins, so who fucking knows?
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, that was kind of part of immersion and stuff, but just I don't know, just the ability to just kind of hang out, just kind of have a good time, just even
No,
walking around doing
I
nothing.
agree. Definitely.
Immersion in video games is such an oxymoron of psychology because it's like you feel like it's real, but you also know like these are such extreme situations that, let's be real, no normal human would probably survive in. But like if you're absolutely right. Like if you can just feel like you are in that world, it just can make the game. I think that's probably like one of the ultimate things that makes the games fun is you can just feel yourself in the character's shoes. Going back to
Yeah.
music, Devin, like I said, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, and they have every single music track from that series on
Oh
that
yeah.
game. And as
Hmm.
I've played through the story and I'm, replaying a bunch of the songs for completion purposes, and like anytime you get a track that you just it either slaps or like you just remember like being in that world of whatever world you were in at the time. There's so many with Kingdom Hearts,
Hmm.
but you just it I don't know, it takes you back to the cutscenes and the
The feeling.
environment that yeah, the feeling. That's a
Yeah.
much better way of saying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You get the feeling of just being there, and music is so so important to that. We already mentioned environments as well. And yeah, I love your point on immersion too. It because it capstones everything really well, I
I
think.
For
will
sure.
say one of the games that combines like a lot of the stuff I like that makes a game fun. It is Kingdom Hearts, like 2 especially.
Two
Like
makes you feel like a
movement's so
badass,
good.
yeah.
2 is so good. And like Dev was saying, like you go from like this Sora's, he's not weak, but he just lost all of his powers and shit. So he's having to like relearn. So he goes from like nothing to like a badass very over the story, and it's got good movement, good hangout ability,
Good combat.
good combat. Uh, yeah,
Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts is just
dude.
a good game.
It's
it
it's
really is.
such a
It's
good
just a good
series.
series. Yeah.
I mean,
Legitimately, I've
there's
been
definitely like some stinkers in there too. I'll be real.
Sure.
As someone that has completed the majority of them, Melody of Memory is the only one I don't have the platinum trophy for so far. And
Mhm.
I can say with confidence, like the vast majority of them hold up really, really, really well.
Yeah.
I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game.
Well, Joey,
it's on
it's t-
Steam,
it's time to start.
Ah,
which is wild. I'm so happy it's on Steam because now more people are gonna play it, and like mods are always funny. But I just really, really wish they had a real Switch port. Like it's a
Yeah,
PS2 game. Albeit it's one of the best PS2 games, like legitimately. Um, but its Switch port is fucking awful. You have to
it's
have like
because it's
Cloud.
online. Yeah,
It's
it's
yeah.
cloud.
Cloud. It's like I don't want
Hmm.
Cloud. I mean, I
Hmm.
like Cloud, the character,
Different
but
cloud.
I don't want the Cloud version of Kingdom Hearts unless I
so
get to play as Cloud.
so
Like fuck you.
I love that it's coming to Steam. Okay, I want to acknowledge that more accessibility for gamers, great. But here's my only thing. This is like the fifth time the series is getting re-released. Like,
I I'm okay with that. Um, I do think just wide releases just makes it more accessible to people. Uh,
absolutely.
and
It's
putting it
just
on Steam, like it cements that it's accessible now. It'll
it
be
just
accessible till the end of time, until the end of Steam.
yeah, that's a great way of putting it. And especially with it being Steam, that makes sense. But like we're talking like 1.5 and 2.5 came out on PS3 way back in like the early 2010s, 20
Like
teens, whatever you want to
20.
call it. And then like they made the jump to PlayStation 4, and then they made the jump to Xbox One, and then they made the jump to Switch, and then they made the jump to Epic Games. And like I don't know. It feels like they just keep releasing it as if it's new, when in reality, like I don't know. It probably is new to some people. I'll admit that much.
I think the
It,
You know.
pricing's the biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
it prints them money. Why would they not keep re-releasing it?
I mean, you
That's
got a point there.
that's what I think. It does print money. And do you know how many people would have bought a legitimate copy of just like 1.5 and 2.5 on Switch?
You got a point
Like
there.
Like
Yeah.
I would have bought it on Switch. I would have triple dipped. I'm sorry. I have it on PS3 and fucking PS4 and I would have bought it on Switch,
Mhm. Mhm.
That's a
just
great
to
way of
just to
seeing
have
it.
it to play. Like you could play it on airplane or something. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
one of those people that's gonna go out and buy 5 versions of the game because I am that big of a fan. Like, if there is a version that I would pick up, it would probably be the Steam version because like better graphics, better refresh rates, things like that, better performance,
Papa
but
John's.
better Papa.
Oof.
Sorry.
But I'm already over here with the PS4 versions of all of them. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. But I'm happy that the community is going to thrive now, and I'm happy that we're going to get more money for Kingdom Hearts 4's development. Square
Yeah,
Enix, please release Kingdom Hearts 4 in a good state. Please don't release it
I
soon, just release it good.
I'm hoping I'm hoping with the Switch 2 we get a good Kingdom Hearts Switch 2 port, and B, like if Kingdom Hearts 4 was able to come to Switch, I think that'd be neat.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't
but
see it. I feel like Kingdom Hearts 4 is really pushing the tech boundaries. Uh, so we'll see what it's like, and we also don't know anything about the Switch 2. Like
yeah.
I've been hearing reports it's about as powerful as a PS4, which by the way is still a really good system.
Let's
Like
circle
it's
back around to Devin though.
For
He had a
certain.
thought, and we have
oh
steamrolled
my
him.
bad.
No. I actually had completed my topics here,
Okay.
so that's fine. I will say I think I should suggest we should probably make some closing discussion now, just because we are running a little
Over.
over just
Absolutely.
slightly, but that's okay. So I would like to hear from Joey just a little bit more, just because I feel
Well,
like we three have talked the most, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to say anything that you wanted to say, Joey.
I think I got really most of what I like out. I also really like story-driven games, but
Yeah.
if you put like a survival crafting mechanic in that story game, I'm spending the next 5 years of my life in that game.
Absolutely.
So, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Kinda, yeah. I'm disappointed that the house you get in that game was like that.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
fair. It's
but
light crafting, but there is crafting.
also Nintendo stopped patching my duplication glitches. I just want to have
Yes.
fun. Yeah,
I kind of wish they just kept the weapons like not rusty.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's fun combining shit to them. Like don't get me wrong, I like doing that. But sometimes I just want to use the weapon because it looks cooler. You know?
Yeah, that was like the worst part of those games to me was I just wanted to look cool, and then my weapon broke immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I kind of
y'all,
hope. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
it's all good, man. I'm with Devin here though. It's probably time to start closing things, you know.
it is 10:53.
It is 10:53.
It is ten
I
fifty three.
think
It's
Devin probably had like
10:53.
yeah. I think Devin had probably the strongest point of what makes a game fun that I think encompasses a lot of what we covered, and it's that immersion, you know. I feel like that's
Yeah,
when all the elements that we want in a game all combine together to create a game that we want to play, which in turn makes it fun.
For sure. I think immersion is just kind of an encompassing term, right? I think a lot of what we actually had mentioned were just simply more specific, um, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of
facets.
just, yeah, facets are kind of
Uh,
just more constricted kind of ideas of immersion, right? Movement, um, combat, right? These are all things that make you feel more immersed in the game. So I think I just simply, covered the more overarching factor of what we all think makes games fun.
it's a fair point. I agree.
Closing arguments, Chancellor.
Uh, Square Enix make a real port for Kingdom Hearts. Nintendo. I know you can hear me. Because we mentioned your IPs, so you have your little attorneys sniffing us out. We did like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, but shake up the formula again.
You're here.
We did it, y'all. We solved what makes games fun. Immersion.
There you have
Uh,
it.
Yes,
so
excellent.
we are gonna close out this first episode of the Monkey Funk podcast. Uh, Thank you for listening,
Yeah,
and thank you guys for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll be doing this a lot more. So look forward to more episodes, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the episodes that are coming next.
We need to do like the PBS, like this wouldn't exist without viewers like you. Thank you.
Very true.
I mean, it does currently exist without any viewers. So
Well, you're a hater.
let's
and,
change that. Everybody like and subscribe.
Like
That's
and
right.
subscribe. Podcast out.